that is crispy.
That was a nice little intro,
What?
wasn't it? Welcome to the Detail Grind podcast, everybody.
Welcome. Welcome.
Let us know if you like that little intro there.
Yeah.
We're getting a feel for things, and if you guys don't like it or if you do like it, let us know in the chat.
Yep. I'm liking it. I am liking it.
I think so.
It's one of those things that like I was kind of overthinking for the longest time. I'm like, okay, I need to make like a sweet video. I need to like engage a whole bunch of YouTube videos, see how to do this. And then you're like, I got it in 5 minutes. I'm like, what in the world?
Oh man.
But yeah, we got a few viewers coming up here. We did take a break last week, so thank you all for your patience. Welcome back.
Hopefully,
Joey, why were we away last week? Why were we away?
Here in the people said they didn't see the intro video. We must have been on a delay. Let's play it again real quick for them.
Delicious.
There we go. Let us know if you. Oh man, that little shimmer at the end really
just like the double espresso.
Ooh, is that what you got going on today?
It's been a day, baby. I'm fired up.
Sweet.
Look at this.
But to answer your question,
in the chat. Holy moly!
Oh, I love that guy. What's up, buddy? We in the land below yours.
Yep.
In the U.S. of A., we had our Thanksgiving. I know you guys had it last in October. Ours is in November. And then none of us want to do anything the day after.
That's right.
Including a podcast. So that's why we had a week off. So hopefully we didn't lose any subscribers or anything.
No, I don't think so.
No, I think people are sticking with us. I appreciate it, guys.
We're gaining our subscribers naturally. Okay.
Yes.
This is not a bought and paid for situation.
I'm not throwing it down. I'm not shoving it down anyone's throat. You know, like if I like the organic growth, and you know,
that's certainly the way to go.
No complimentary MacBooks and microphones here.
That's right. There's been a lot of podcasts coming up, but you know what?
There's a lot of podcasts, man. There's just a lot of podcasts.
Just like detailing, kind of the essence of ours is, Detail Grind. It's those kind of hardworking individuals that are really going through things, and just also tying in a bit of coffee as well.
Yes.
There's lots of area for everyone to.
I've got a nice little grind here of. I was in a pinch, and I got Amazon Fresh beans, and they're pretty good.
Can you get those locally, or you had to get them shipped, like one of those Amazon stores?
It was like a same day delivery thing. So I don't know where it's coming from, but it's like 32 ounces 3 pounds of coffee, and it was like $14.
Oh wow, it's not bad at all.
Yeah.
Nope. Not bad at all. But
awesome.
Yeah.
What have you been up to this last week?
Man, it's been a whirlwind of weather because I've been itching to detail because, it's what I like doing. It's my hobby, right? But
this is the time to bank all that content for when you can't do it.
Because it is currently very warm and extremely windy, because we have these weather phenomenons called Chinooks, which it's hot air coming over the mountains that just wreaks havoc on us. But we have great temperature swings. So last week, kind of on the weekend, it was around the -10 Celsius mark, -15, and then it's right back up to about +10 Celsius. So that's a 20-degree Celsius change in the matter of a couple of days.
Yeah,
but, can hopefully get some stuff on get some stuff done tomorrow. But
sweet. What do you got? You got anything special planned, or
probably just a couple winter resets? I think.
Ooh, okay. People like that this time of year.
Our good friends over at ADS, which is one of the newest vendors, if you will, at our with our guest, is the beads, easy beads, depending on the label that you got.
Yeah,
I have to. I almost. I told you to coat your house in that because of the whole earthquake tsunami thing, which luckily.
Luckily the tsunami got called off. I didn't have to. My plan was to just put a 1,500 at each entry point for the water.
Yep.
And I think I'd be safe. I have 4.
Oh, you'd be totally fine. Yeah. Totally fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely definitely need to shoot some video so that you kind of have a bit of a stockpile, because it's hard to do it when it's out in that minus a million. So, but Kim's out of her coffee beans.
Try the Amazon ones. I'm just saying, like they've got a whole bunch of different roasts, and I think they're pretty good. But I'm not like a coffee snob though.
I will say I have a bit of a beef with Amazon right now. I understand that it's a busy time of year.
Yes.
And one of our major mail carriers, Canada Post, which is the equivalent of USPS, is currently on strike. And this is their 4th week on strike. So no regular letter mail has been delivered anywhere in the country.
Oh, man.
So every other courier has been picking up the slack. And I think Amazon's been like, hey, we can use that as an excuse. But,
yeah, I mean, they do hand off a lot, at least in my area. So I can see how that's frustrating. But were you expecting anything in the mail? Like, I don't really look for anything in the mail other than
nothing.
Packages.
Yeah, nothing that I'm not originally expecting. I know. There's the odd thing here and there that will just kind of show up. But
the service that we have, USPS offers a like if you sign up for whatever, they're like an online account, it actually like scans the photos of the mail that you have coming that day. So like an image of like, ahead of time, like, oh, maybe I'm not home and I need to go get that or whatever. And then it'll tell you like if you've got any packages coming as well. So I don't know, it's kind of convenient.
For this, we've got is the tracking info and then a photo of delivery. So
real ancient stuff.
Because we have like a lot of the neighborhoods will have community mailboxes. There'll be like a central mailbox in one area, but versus at everybody's house. But I mean, speaking of things that come in small packages, we have one hell of a guest.
We do.
A nimble, brilliant human being, great human being that you've had the pleasure to meet.
I got to hang out with this man in Las Vegas, and he's quickly become one of my favorite people. It's
not a bad place to meet someone, especially when
I think you get to know the real person when you meet him in Vegas.
Yeah, the mood is right.
There's no facade.
That's right. But what do you say we bring him on?
Let's bring him on. Let's bring on Mr. Gabe Garcia from the Rag Company.
Oh,
there he is. Right there.
What's up, guys?
I'm gonna throw Gabe in the middle since he's the star of the show. How you doing, Gabe?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
We're doing well. Now that you're here, even better.
Thank you guys for having me.
That's right.
Well, it's great to be here. I got to meet Joey in Las Vegas, and it was fun, man. SEMA 2024. Holy smokes!
What a time!
It was a great.
What a time!
It was.
Did you bring anything home from SEMA? I brought home COVID. Did you bring home anything?
I did not bring home COVID. I brought home a Rupes doll for my kiddo.
Nice. That's way better. Way better.
Yeah, I tried. And it was like one of those things where you're a dad at SEMA. You want to bring something home. I remember my dad going to on trips, and he would always bring home something. I'd be super stoked. But it's like, what do I bring? I can't bring home ceramic coating. I can't, So I was able to get a stuffy for him. So I was super stoked about that.
That's Dane, fix it.
Yeah, fix Dane. Yeah, that's awesome though, because at least the toys kind of, they have a bit more sentimental value than a consumable, if you will.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. For sure. I would definitely say so.
And you've got young children, so like, if you brought them home a ceramic coating, like it's not going to last until they're old enough to use it. So the stuff is way better.
Yeah, it's gonna go bad. Well, I mean, we did do on the live stream. We coated a tractor, so I did give my son the tractor, the coated tractor.
That's right.
So he was super stoked about that. So it was awesome on that front.
That's awesome.
Yep. Yeah. Shout out to Spencer for, I think Spencer's the one that does the large.
Yep.
The large heavy equipment coating. I used to work for I used to work for an agriculture dealership network, and that sold farm equipment. And I remember just like seeing combines in the showrooms or large tractors that are $750,000.
Right.
And I'm like, I actually thought about that. I'm like, how miserable would that be to detail? And then there's Spencer was like, I ceramic coat that. I'm like, oh my Lord. Like I wouldn't have the patience. Like a car is
a
tough
lot
enough.
of surface area.
Oh my god.
And talking about
the most
how
they're getting is a
expensive-
foamed on sealant from me on something that big.
Yeah.
You were talking about easy beads. I would just hit something like that with easy beads and be like, yep, that's good.
Call a day. Visit me every month and I'll top you off.
Yeah.
Shameless plug. We can get all of these at the Rag Company with Joey 10. So.
Ooh, that's right. I wish you had a promo code that I could plug at the Rag Company, but you know,
it's
you guys need to give him like a leg. I think a Grandambassador of the Year should have a legacy promo code. Just an idea.
The legacy, just a legacy. Yeah. The doer.
Yeah. It'll just
it adds 10% to the price.
That's right. That's right.
I think something like that would be. Yeah, I think something like that would be awesome. You know.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have to talk to Antonio.
Or where doers get done.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. I like that.
That's fringing on like the Home Depot slogan.
Yeah. Well,
you know,
now that you say it,
and well, and then someone might say, well, that's a long code to type where doers get done. You know.
The homers are going to be knocking on your door with the cease and desist. but
I think it'd be funny. I don't know.
Oh, I would absolutely love that. But yeah, I mean, there's not just you guys, but I mean, I've said it before. If any detailers are paying full price for detailing stuff, there's a problem because there are so many promo codes out there that no matter where you shop, there's something for someone.
You know, one time I used the Honey extension in my browser, right? Like searches the web for your promo codes or whatever. And I was on the Rag Company site and it tells you like, oh, we found like a few codes that have been popular recently. And like Joey 10 was up there one time. And I was like, I think I took a screenshot because I was pretty stoked about it.
Heck yeah.
You're famous. You're famous by a third-party extension on Chrome.
I'll take it, man. I'll take it. Little victories here and there.
I remember I was logged into Carzilla. Like I was on the Carzilla site under my account, and it kept suggesting Rick's promo code. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
I use Rick's promo code a lot, actually.
Oh yeah.
If I'm being honest, I like to give support. He gives support too.
Oh, definitely. And David Boyce knows what's up. Bucky VW at Carzilla.
Bucky VW at Carzilla saved 5%.
Jeff C, howdy folks.
There
the best detailed podcast in the game. Oh, appreciate that, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff.
Man, Jeff,
Jeff C.
Who paid him?
I hope not me. We're not getting paid at all. I hope Jeff C gets a new keyboard for Christmas because this keyboard has to be worn out. With the amount
letters are absolutely gone.
Lengthy responses that he writes on everything.
No, I will say this. Jeff C is very thorough. Just keeping track of what's happening in the industry. But I will say I love how we love Jeff C. He's such a good dude.
Details official in the house. What's going on, fellas?
Good to see you.
Nice. Hello.
What do you say we dive into some of these questions for Gabe so that people can maybe get to know him a little bit better?
We got one fired up.
Yeah, Oh no. Okay, here we go.
So, first one. I'm not going to do the ticker. Hold on.
Oh, I like that. That was kind of interesting. It was like a scoreboard
that's kind of
going
reserved
around.
for breaking news. So maybe
Oh.
if you've got like some teasers you want to talk about later in the show.
Yeah, that's
maybe that can get a ticker.
Apologies, folks.
I might have some teasers.
So, Gabriel, how did you start with TRC, and what's your relationship with the Hennons?
Okay. So this is kind of a long. I'll try to make this answer as short as I possibly can, but it's a long one.
We got time.
So basically, the relationship went back from when I was in 6th grade. So that was what 2000 and. My sister graduated in 8th.
I hear 6th
like
grade 2000 and I get like
2003 or something like that. But Corey, so as you guys know who have watched the Rag Company evolve, Dane has been a part of it. But what you guys didn't know is so I'm best friends with Dane's little brother Corey. He and I Dane went to school with my sister and they were in band. So it's like when they were in marching band, we would be in the stadium of Boise State throwing around footballs or in the hallways, just playing around. And we became really good friends. So Jeff and Carolyn, I think a lot of people have probably heard the story of the Rag Company of just basically how they bought the company in 2013, thinking, you know, this is going to be something that's kind of our side project. Dane, they brought on, he was working at Home Depot at the time. And he did a fantastic job just kind of taking on the orders, helping build the website. So it was mostly Dane, and then they hired another gal to assist Dane. So those two were the primary employees. And then I assisted when they bought the company. I helped move the stuff from the original owner's garage to theirs. And then you know, we were still doing stuff. Jeff and Carolyn were still doing their jobs. I would hang out with Corey. Corey and I were starting college at the time. So I think, 2013. And I essentially became the third employee. I was in and out a lot. I was in and out a lot, helping with orders. Days that were slow, you know, I obviously didn't go into work. And then as we grew, we actually found the need to have like storage units and stuff like that.
Right.
So I remember we would buy racking just used off of Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist, and we build the rackings in these storage units. And then we grew. We would get orders. Like if we had a good amount, 100 orders or so, that was a lot. That was insane back in the day. And we were packing like crazy, you know, making sure we can hit all of these orders. And we finally outgrew the garage. So I went with the rag company from the garage to another shop not too far from the house. And we just continued sending out packages and stuff like that. But then we had this idea that we wanted to bring in, you know, start doing videos. Right. So Dane started the YouTube channel. Like he built the actual URL and all that jazz of the YouTube channel. And he and I started making videos. You guys didn't see me. I was in the background a lot. And the other thing that I did was I supplied the equipment, because by the time we moved to the Chinden shop, I was in the interim of becoming a teacher. We didn't know where this company was going. We knew that detailers liked the towels, but we didn't know how big it was going to get. And my passion was teaching and educating. So educating was number one for me. And it was education and video broadcasting. So in the summer, I worked, and then at about 2015, I got a job becoming a teacher at the junior high and high school. So I was teacher coach, but I would supply a lot of the equipment for the rag company, and in return, they would donate a lot to my program. And it was kind of like Jeff and Carolyn are the sweetest people in the world. They were so supportive of my endeavors as wanting to become a teacher, and they supported my program. You know, they donated a lot of videos. Yeah, that video in the warehouse was one of our very first videos. And
what a time.
Yeah, it was crazy. So they helped out my program, and vice versa. I got to help out the rag company by supplying cameras and stuff that we didn't have, because back in the day, you know, we're a bigger company now. We're still a mom and pop shop. That's the thing that everyone should know.
You can feel that too. Like you can feel that in any transaction or any conversation, anything that involves interacting with you guys, you get that sense.
Yeah.
And for those that don't know, the logo is actually a microfiber. You know, you saw it here.
It is a microfiber.
So this logo is very, very similar to their logo. That's how Dane kind of designed it from what he says, for those that don't know.
Yeah. It was very old school. I should have worn an old shirt, but yeah. So I've known the Hennons for a long time. They were my family friends, and then it grew into it's tough, right? Like you're joining a business. I left teaching in 2020. I didn't want, you know, Carolyn pursued me and was like, hey, we built this media company, because before the media company became a thing, with my program at the high school level, it was career technical education. So we brought in a lot of people from industry in the broadcast world, and my brother Nick, who is my brother-in-law, who does a lot of the technical directing, he and I came together because he sat in on those meetings, and we integrated the technologies that we have in the media studio. And that all derived from kind of that high school program. And Nick came on board, and then I had the opportunity of coming on board in 2020, where I decided to make the leap of faith, and I left my program to come back to the rad company. And I think the hardest thing is leaving the kids, leaving the school, leaving my colleagues. But overall, I love what I do. I love video broadcasting. I love my coworkers. Yeah, no, it's been kind of wild.
Yeah, that perfectly segues into the next question. Is the past as a teacher helped the media team? So you kind of brought in, because you were almost like a child to the Hennons in a sense, because you were literally there unloading from, ground zero, location one, into what you guys are at today. And I think, me visually being able to see how you deal with a team, I can certainly see some teacher tendencies there. And it's not so much of, discipline, but just ensuring, hey, you're not in your correct spot. You need to be here, and putting people in their place, and then commandeering people like myself, and when Jamie was there too, to make sure people are in the right locations at the time. And, we can bully people around a little bit if they're not paying attention.
And the thing is it's a lot of growth. There's a lot that we've learned. We've learned how to properly do good live streams. We've learned the technologies that we need. We have good game plans in place for growth in the future. And the thing is that you guys mentioned it at the very beginning. There's a ton of podcasts and stuff out there, especially in the detail world. And I just feel like in the end, we've had this team. It's not just a collective. It's not just me. It's everybody that's in this building today. Really came together and solidified. We essentially built. I feel like we were in the forefront of starting a lot of what we do as far as the podcasts and TRCMA, and then just the big thing is it's just different, right? But it's one of those things that you reflect and you're like, holy crap! I never thought that this would have come to this. I remember doing stuff back in the day. Like the biggest thing we had was a Corvette show, Dana and I, and we had to film it so that at the end of their event for the Corvette show, we did, they had their videos. So Dana and I were frantically running around with GoPros, but I never thought that we would have a dedicated studio, a dedicated team, and then we would be doing as much as we're doing. And it's so cool to sit back and reflect and look at all of the things that have become from all the things that we did from the garage to now.
Yeah. On this side of the screen, just the last few years of consuming every bit of TRC content that I can, like you can see the growth from year to year. I mean, even within the year, but like you can see production values up. The cameras are amazing. The sound is great. There's less dropped reception for live streams and stuff like that. Everything is just like going in the right direction for you guys, and it makes me happy to see you guys succeed that way.
And it's a lot of it's a lot of test and fail. The first TRCMA, we thought it was a success, and you go back and look at it, and it's cringe to watch. It really is.
But there's something. I don't want to say nostalgic because it's not that old, but there's something charming about it.
Yeah. Well, and I think too is that
years.
the lack of time you guys really had to plan it.
Yeah.
To actually do it, because it was kind of a bit of a mad dash to get it going.
The very first TRCMA, I remember I came in and we were trying to brainstorm what the heck to do. I took a sabbatical that first year, so I still had access to my kids. I still had access to my program and stuff like that. And we were brainstorming, what the heck do we do to save this? Because SEMA did their online take, and we're like, this is not good enough. We really need to pull everything together. So we were able to make it happen. And our crew was my kids, my high school students.
That's awesome.
That was our crew. It was everyone here. It was like Nick, Glenn, Jimmy, obviously Dane, Levi, and Anthony, and a bunch of high school kids. That's who ran the very first TRCMA. And it was the very first time. Yeah, and it was the very first time we simulcast on Facebook and YouTube. And or actually, no, I think we just did YouTube that year, and we did YouTube in like 1080, maybe 720 at best, because just our infrastructure wasn't fully built that year.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things that it was just like, everyone's watching it in front of the camera, and you get a lot of people commenting on YouTube, well, your audio's dropping, or what the heck is going on here? And realistically, and it's funny because people have this perception that, oh my gosh, this is a big company. You guys are so huge. No one cares about what we do. We care about everybody, and we're still a mom and pop shop. And we're just learning the ways as we go. Nothing's going to be perfect. And that's essentially how TRCMA derived. And we're 5 years into it. We now have a good established crew. We're still learning. We're constantly researching what to do. I've got,
do you guys take a lot of the feedback from the, do you guys take a lot of the feedback from the audience when they're saying like,
100%.
The microphone. Okay, cool.
100%. We take the feedback from audience, not just in live situations, but even our videos. The whole premise that, that TRC is a big company. TRC is becoming bigger for sure.
Yeah.
But we are a company that really focuses on putting our audience first, putting the education first. I know that, sometimes we test and sometimes we flop, right? It's one of those things, like you throw out a video idea or concept and you're like, crap, that didn't stick the way I wanted it. But the big thing is we always try. We put our best foot forward in anything, even on the innovation process of our products. And we listen to our audience members. It's like, I think, having the platforms of the Q&A, I think it was Luke Berge that came up with the idea of like, hey, why don't you guys try foaming ONR, right?
Shout out to Berge.
I want to bring that up because that's an example of one where we've got the platform that we ask the questions. We also have it so that our vendor partners can watch, but it's so that our vendor partners too can hear our audience and say, hey, maybe we should make a foam and R. And there you go. So Luke was a derivative of how that happened. But like,
don't say that too much because he's gonna want residuals.
Oh man, I mean, granted, everything he makes is just gonna go right back to TRC. But
absolutely,
I think that's one of those things because you guys, even before TRCMA, is like, for those that haven't really noticed a pattern, is that you guys do a bit more lives, kind of the January, February, just to get your feet wet, and even just throughout the year. I mean, and you'll get random pop-up lives to test the algorithm. But I think one thing people need to remember is that this is all being done for free on YouTube. We're not paying for any of this. Okay. So I know you can get a little frustrated for sure, but audience shouldn't get too upset. And that's not just with TRC. That's with any platform that's offering educational content on YouTube.
It was interesting because we did have a dinner. And I remember someone saying, because during TRCMA, the week is very stressful. There's just, it's stressful because we want to put our best foot forward for you guys. And I remember someone saying it was Thursday night. We went out to dinner. We took whoever was on show that day out to dinner, and someone was like, you should start charging the vendors to come, or you should put it behind a paywall. And the rag company's got a set of core values, and education is it's our core pillar. And what justice are we going to do to charge or make a buck on a show? It doesn't do anything. Our main focus, that we've learned is we've learned how to up our game with the technology. We have Glenn Shore, who is freaking fantastic when it comes to all the graphics. We have Nick, who is insane with technical directing, and not only technical directing, but what people don't see is what breaks behind the scenes and how we fix it, like building redundancies. We have Anthony Blaine who assists in our technology, making sure that we have the proper tech now. I mean, it's just phenomenal. Not to mention we have Levi, or we had Levi. We have Anthony and Dane who know, okay, this is what happens when something breaks. This is what we're going to do to mitigate it, so that way the audience doesn't even know. And then it's such a good crew that we have. So
this
big
is a
lessons
good example.
learned.
This is a good example of the mom and pop feel, and just how you guys care for each other. There is you just named every single person on the team and how they contribute. No one's taking credit by themselves. Everyone gives credit where credit's due, and it's the entire team as a whole. And I think that's really awesome, because there's companies that don't do that.
Yeah.
Our promotions, it's like the Home to Suites ad with Seabass. Gosh, it's just like, I could go on and on and on. And we just added Carson to the team, who is phenomenal. He's got a lot of
killing it with the TikToks.
He's just got a lot of zest. Yeah, and he's pushing us too, which is really cool. Like even more recent, I'm on camera more, which I haven't been. That's something new for me personally. So it's weird
for you? It's weird for me.
It's weird. Yeah. And it's tough because you try your best and you don't want to try too hard. You want to be informative and educational.
You want it to feel natural too.
Yeah. There was a video. There was a video that released last week where we were blind testing products, and someone commented, "Gabe is terrible on camera." And I responded, I was thanks. I was like, oh shoot. And I asked Carson, I was like, is that something we need to go back and look at? And he's like, nah, dude, you're fine. But
I don't think there's always going to be the critics, right? There's always going to be the critics, but I like it's raw, right? Like that's what you like. The blind test is supposed to be raw. So you're seeing how people just would respond if the camera wasn't on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I appreciate it. So you're good. You're good, man.
It certainly touches Dexum Ghost's question where, can you talk a little bit more about the benefits TRC supplies its employees? So when I seeing it firsthand as an outsider who's not there every single day, Jeff and Carolyn really take the time to know everybody that either works for them or is a vendor partner that's there, and they make them feel comfortable, which, I mean, I don't know how many times you can go to a company and the owner will either, shush you away almost, or just be like, you need to make an appointment or XYZ, whatever. But even like last TRCMA, Gabe and I were joking about Uncle Adam possibly showing up.
Yeah.
And you're like, give me a sec. And you just call him real quick. He's like, he'll be here tomorrow. I'm like, what? And then you have Adam Patali show up. Like, absolutely ridiculous.
The thing with Jeff and Carolyn, the owners of the rad company, that I want everyone to know is they're the most down-to-earth people. Another example would be like TRCMA last year, right? The clean couldn't make it in. Carolyn was cleaning our bathrooms, and she was coming in early and cleaning the bathrooms. Jeff was helping moving things, like going to Costco and getting
so many people.
That's the thing is, I can't speak highly enough about how great these people are, and how amazing that if you're an employee of the rad company, they always, families first. If you have an emergency or issues, no questions, go handle your thing. Family always comes first. Yeah. That's the crazy thing. It's not a big company that you have to go through paperwork or jump through these loops. That's not how it is at the rad company. So to answer, I guess, the question of like the benefits of that TRC applies to its employees is just how amazing the owners are. I cannot emphasize that. That's what makes this place such a great place to work. And even with Jeff, it's like you go up to Jeff, you're like, hey, I have this idea for a product, and I don't know if it's doable. And he's like, well, let me see. And you know, he's always putting the best foot forward too, as far as putting the customers first and all of that. So it is such a fun place, and it's an amazing place to work.
My biggest bummer from SEMA was I didn't get a chance to have a conversation with them because, you know, they were busy giving their time and attention to anybody who wanted to speak to them. So I was like, I'll just get them. I'll talk to them tomorrow. They weren't there. They had gone.
You know what, JB?
So,
I
was bummed.
I think JB is going to have a chance in the future.
I sure hope so. That'd be so cool. That'd be really cool. Shout out to DJ Mayo. Out to dinner. Still wanted to check in.
What? DJ, you need to get back to my email.
Ooh.
So DJ, I'm calling out DJ. You need to get back to my email, Armor Detail. You guys are coming to TRCMA 2025.
Ooh, there's an announcement. There we go.
You're gonna let DJ on the campus. I haven't met DJ personally, but
I have. You should not let him on the campus, but
that's
keep him on a tight leash.
Yeah, give him his own. Maybe.
March 31st through April 4th, TRCMA coming your way.
Mark your calendars, ladies and gentlemen. That's
the best time of year. You have to request the week off of work. Like if you can, just get all your affairs in order for TRCMA. Spend your money.
It's a great segue to our next question, actually. So, Gabe, a lot of your Japanese domestic market vehicles have appeared in videos. You know, we know you found a mint Honda Civic that I'm sure Anthony was jealous of. You know, you got the Land Cruiser, you have the 4Runner. I think did you get rid of the 4Runner?
No, I still have the 4Runner, and then I bought another Land Cruiser, and then
how many vehicles do you have currently?
Yeah, let's talk about how this started first of all, and then see where we're at now. Because this is ridiculous. Like, you somehow you're the guy that like Dane loves cars, but you find the mint cars.
That's what's up, man.
I feel like no one else can.
Give me an older mint car any day of the week.
So how it started when I was little, my dad had a 1976 FJ40, and we went all over the mountains in that. In fact, he let a friend drive when we were out not even wheeling, just driving, adventuring, and this friend rolled it. And we rolled 8 times down the mountain in this thing, and I was 6. Keep in mind, it was one of those things that I remember. But I remember I remember the vehicle. I remember the old smells, and my dad bought another one. He bought a 1980 FJ40 blue white top, and I just loved it. You know, it was one of those unique things. I remember going to baseball practices, football, and he'd pick me up in those. And it was just one of those things that I loved. Long story short, I told my dad I wanted a not a Tacoma. I wanted the pickup. So I wanted the early 90s pickups. And we looked, and we found a one-owner pickup that was like 115,000 miles. And he and I we split the cost, and I bought it. And this was my high school truck. I did everything in this cross country. I had tons of friends in the back. I squeezed, you know, friends in the jumper seats, and I took really good care of this truck. This was before knowing anything about detailing. I had Armor All. I had all those products you guys, you know, we today wouldn't think to use.
Less than premium, detailing products.
Less than premium, but I would keep. You know what though? I will say this: that truck stayed perfect.
Oh yeah.
I took care of it.
In a pinch. If you know how to use them.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And the program that I took over for teaching, my teacher had a mint 3rd gen 4Runner that had low miles. And into college, I bought it, and I sold the white pickup. And I drove the 4Runner. I loved the 4Runner. I kept the 4Runner, and then I was missing the truck, and I was like, crap, wonder what happened to that truck, and if the owners are liking it. So I called, I kept their card in my wallet. So I just kept it, and I pulled it out. It was all wrinkly, but I could still see the number. So I called them, and I was like, hey, how you liking the truck? Is it still doing good? And they're like, oh, well, we're thinking of giving it to our grandson, because we're not using it. We drove it up to our cabin, and we've only put like 200 miles on it.
Oh man.
I'm like, really? So I asked him, I was like, if I helped you find your grandson a truck, because I guess the grandson couldn't even drive manual. I was like, I'll help you find a truck if I can buy my truck back. And they're like, sure. So I found a truck, and then G Davis. And then I bought my 4Runner, or I bought the truck back. So I had the truck and the 4Runner. And oh my gosh, it just, from there, I was in heaven. I had my truck, my high school truck. I had a low mileage 4Runner, third gen 4Runner. And then what ended up happening was I ended up selling the 4Runner to buy a Tacoma. And at this point, I was dating actually no, I had the third gen 4Runner and I had the truck. And then one day, I was just looking on Craigslist, and I found a first gen Toyota 4Runner being sold by the original family with 34,000 miles.
What?
And I was
like lemon, what? Or not lemon, just diamond in the rough, I should say.
Did your heart skip a beat?
Diamond in the rough. Yeah. I skipped parent teacher conference and I bought it.
Oh man.
Priorities.
Yeah, my wife thought I was, well, my girlfriend at the time thought I was nuts. She's like, what are you doing? You know, we were in our starter home, and she's like, what are you doing? And
I think a lot of our partners think we're nuts.
Yeah, we're nuts. Absolutely, we're nuts. But I have the best partner. She's so supportive, even though she thinks I'm nuts.
Shout out to her roasting you in the TikTok live earlier today. That was great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I bought the 4Runner, and I had the first gen, the third gen, and the 94. And I told my wife I wanted to buy a new truck. I wanted a Tacoma before we got married, so I sold the third gen, and I bought a newer Tacoma. And that was my newer. It was like cavalry blue Tacoma. I loved it. But then we got married, and then soon after found out that we were expecting with our first. And I told my wife, this is not a vehicle that is feasible for putting a baby in the back.
Yeah.
We need to get something that has more space. So I bought a 2005 Toyota Land Cruiser, and it was, what was cool about this one was it was the type of Land Cruiser that has, it's like Delta bumpers. The guy who owned Factor 55 had this thing in the Delta. So like if you go buy Delta bumpers for a Toyota, that's what my vehicle is, the vehicle that they used. Cool. So it was built to the hill. And so I had that, and I'm still driving that. That's my daily driver. And then
as I'm listening to you, Gabe, I'm realizing that I think subliminally from watching TRC for this long, I think you guys are the reason that like I get the thoughts that pop into my head that go, I want a Toyota truck.
Yeah.
Like I have no need for a truck, but I'm always like, I sent Dewar a message earlier this week. I was like, why am I specking out a $75,000 Tundra right now? Like, what's going on?
Yep. Oh, I'll let me know. I love them. And
Gabe will find you one.
You know, I sold the Civic. We bought my wife a Honda Odyssey last year.
Yeah.
And the newest addition to us is a 1988 FJ62 series Land Cruiser, and I love it. Oh my gosh. It's my wife. It's actually my wife's
1988.
I was negative.
He was a thought at that point, I think.
I was negative 3 years old.
Gabe was a hope and a dream at that point.
That's right.
I was a hope and a dream, and my gosh, though, I love it. My son, the thing is, my dad still has his Land Cruiser, and he's got a 100 series like I do, and I want to give my kids kind of the experience that I had with my dad, but I wanted to give it in a different way. Same, but different. So I went with a different body style Land Cruiser, and he loves it. We call it Snow White because it's a white Land Cruiser, and I ask him in the spring and summer. I was like, "All right, buddy, what car do you want to go to school?" And he goes, "Snow White." So we drive Snow White most of the time in the summer. So there you go. So long story short, that's kind of my my craziness on cars.
That's too good.
This is a good question. Aaron has. He says, "Is Gabe the mastermind behind the TRC off-road line?"
I got to give that one to Kyle Clark. Well, it was a combination. It was a little bit of. It was a combination of a lot of people. I think Kyle Clark was probably the biggest push on that line. I just had the opportunity of, washing my.
Did they test it? Did they test a lot on your vehicles? Yeah, there it is. That's a flex. That's a flex.
Yeah.
And on like the ATVs and stuff, and the side by sides mostly.
That's cooler than that's cooler than having a towel named after your truck, right? Like, I don't know, a whole product line.
Yeah. No, I mean, again, it's not me. It's not me, but it was fun being a part of that. We did.
Yes.
If you go on our main channel, we have a really sweet video that we did with a side-by-side ATV up in the Idaho mountains where we got it dirty and then Sid washed it in the outdoor wash bay.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that was a fun line. Really fun line to
I love that line. I don't think there's a bad product in it. The only product I think I haven't tried yet, I have it, but I haven't used Wide Open yet. I haven't had like a need to use it, but every other product in that line is an absolute banger.
It's fantastic. Full send and dynamic. They're very close.
Dynamic,
you literally just spray it on your wheels and tires and you let it sit. It's like people ask, "Oh, hey."
And the fender wells, man. The fender wells just they come real
nice. They're phenomenal. So no, that's a banger line. I love it. So check out the off-road line at theradcompany.com if you have it.
Promo Joey 10.
Ooh, promo Joey 10.
Speaking of promos, how has it been dealing with new brands over the years with having to shoot their content, facilitating that? Like, how does that work? Do they tell you what they want to see, or do you guys just have free reign to do whatever?
That's a good question.
We have free reign for the most part. The biggest thing is we have a studio and we have a really good team. So we guide them wherever we can. They give us, input where they need more areas filled, and we do it. We fill it. The big thing with the Rad Company is the reason why we don't bring brands on so fast. And we're like, hey, we got this, and now we got this, and now we got this, and now we vet a lot. Levi and Anthony were the I would say kind of like the founders and Dane of doing a lot of market research. Obviously, Levi is gone. Anthony's carrying that. And the thing that we do is a lot of us who are IDA certified in the company do a lot of R&D testing. And we collectively, like Anthony Blaine has been so phenomenal through this R&D process of help guiding us to really gauge if this is a good product line based off of our ratings and stuff, if we should bring it on. But we really heavily vet the products that come into this building. And because if we're going to make videos to all and say, hey, I think you need to carry this line, we're going to tell it straight as it is. We're not going to carry a product line and then lie about it. That's not our MO at all. We want to make good quality products.
It doesn't benefit you or the company who makes the product.
No, it doesn't, because you're going to have issues. And, it's like, I'll give an example. This isn't a product line that we carried, but it was something that we developed in-house. We developed the Air Blaster. We tested it. We loved it. But keep in mind, we keep our stuff very clean. We didn't have any issues in studio with our products or at our homes. But like the Air Blaster, it stopped. We ran into the issue with the swivel stop. It's not spinning. And we were getting a lot of customer complaints, and we went back to the drawing board and we designed the Air Blaster V2 where you can take out the bearings. And the goal is we want to make sure that we're creating a quality product. And that's kind of goes back to what I said previously. We always want to put our best foot forward. And sometimes it flops. And it's not bad. It's we tried our best, but we're gonna fix it. We're gonna make it better.
Some people will just say you're doing it wrong, or no, you're like, they'll just shut it down. They won't take that feedback. They'll automatically just take it as an attack.
They'll automatically go to the realm of you are making terrible products, or your products are from China, or blah blah blah. And that's not the case. That's not the case. It's not the case that we're making low quality products. It's the case that, you know, sometimes in R&D, you know, you miss something and you got to fix it, but we're gonna fix it. Our
anytime
towels,
you put something out into the world, that's a lot bigger
notch
of a test sample than what you can do yourselves. So any product's gonna have that.
Yeah.
But that's how the V2s happen, which is now been dropped. And
it's how you respond to that I think makes it or breaks it for a company. Like if you're gonna go, if you're gonna hunker down and just be like, the customer is wrong, we have a good product, good luck surviving.
Right. Yeah. Well, and the other thing too is like the Air Blaster is the example. How we handle brands over the years is we build strong relationships with them, like really strong relationships. We give them feedback if they want to bring some stuff in. And Buffet, yes, oh gosh, I love those guys at Armor Detail.
Like Bradley said, he still can't believe that you didn't hit the buffet with the boys in Vegas. So
I'm sorry, Bradley. Listen, next year we're gonna do it. Okay,
all right.
Next year we're gonna do it.
I'm coming.
But
I'm gonna invite myself right now.
Bango, baby.
But the big thing with the brands is we want to build a strong relationship, and we want them to know that, you know, we got their back. We're going to do everything that we can, but we're also going to be honest. Like if there's a product out there that they want us to carry, we're going to be honest about that product before we take it to market to you all. And that's because even though Rag Company is the main representative for the consumer, we are also here to back the consumer in like, hey, we want obviously good prices so they're not paying ridiculous prices. And we also want a high quality product. Can you get those two? And that's what we always strive for as a company. So
and it benefits both you and the brand, right? Like by you cultivating that relationship and not just, you know, like I'm not throwing anyone under the bus, but if you're going to bring on a lot of brands all at once, you can't give that individualized attention to each one to benefit both parties.
Yeah, you can't just go and say, "Oh, I think this is the absolute best," or "Oh, this is garbage," or you have to have the due diligence and understanding of why, right? Our most recent add-on that we brought on was Armor Detail, and that conversation with Armor Detail has been taking a long time, a long development behind the scenes that people don't understand. And those guys are just fantastic, and their products are really great, you know, and that's just stuff that we've learned along the way.
They seem to feel the same way about you guys, because Bradley says as a brand, TRC has been nothing but amazing and
shout out to Bradley.
And Bradley and DJ are two fantastic humans that I also got to meet at SEMA. So I'm super stoked to have brought those lines on. And that's the other thing is when we build a relationship with brands and we bring them on, we genuinely see them as family. You know, obviously there's the business side. You have to talk business because you're dealing with business and numbers and all that jazz. But we treat one another as genuine family. Like when we see everybody, it feels like a family reunion. And that's what I love so much about where we are in the industry as a company and with our brands. So,
and I think too, even like TRCMA 2022, when you guys brought on Starnagloss, you know, you have a charismatic character, Jack, you know, who's taken over the TikTok detailing world by storm. And it's nice that they have their charisma. And like, I remember when Jack was here, not only just doing the video, but like he went up to Tamarack to go skiing with Jeff. I mean, like, how crazy is that? To you know, you're a new brand, you're going to go skiing with an owner of a company that's going to be selling your product. But even with your team, I think the openness and creativeness of your team enables brands that may not be as charismatic on camera or may not have a good digital following. you guys are able to facilitate that more than any of their other vendors. Because any e-commerce website can sell a product, but you guys put a face to a product to help them not just grow, but just, again, educate.
Educate. That is the number one thing. And we have so many plans in the future to even further educate our audience. And yeah, you said it exactly right. I mean, that's just a staple of how the owners treat everybody. And that's also just a staple of how we try to build those relationships. It's just, we really want it. Our goal is not just a short-term, let's make money. That's not it. It's a long, it's like, let's build a relationship.
I mean, it's a great example is you guys take 2 hours out of your week every week to offer a customer service option in the form of a Q&A. Anybody can ask a question. Anyone's going to get an answer. Not many people do that. You know, there's more important things going on. We can't, you know, we don't have the time to talk to the customers or the viewers. Like, you guys take the time, and I think that's what sets you apart.
This is a great question.
Created
from
a new program.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go for it.
Devil in the details. Gabe, with TRC having limited products on the shelves, does it feel a little too inclusive? I absolutely appreciate the we don't just carry everything vibe for sure. I think that's a good question.
With TRC having limited products on the shelves, does it feel too inclusive? So it does not feel too extreme. I guess we feel comfortable in the sense that we can talk about any product on the shelf and we can give good, decisive feedback with clear education behind it. The thing is we are testing. What people don't see is behind the scenes, we're testing a lot of products. And we're testing the products that we carry with those other products. And sometimes there's brands where we'll see, okay, this is pretty good. I didn't know about this. Or there's brands that are like, okay, this is not great stuff to use. And the big thing is we don't ever want to make any brand, whether we carry it or not, feel like it's garbage. Does that make sense? It's one of those things, like if another brand approaches us and says, hey, I'm interested in you guys carrying, would you guys be interested in carrying this line? It's like, yeah, send us samples, or where can we buy the samples? Let's try it. And then from there, let's fact find it. And sometimes it just doesn't work, and that's okay. It's no dig on them, and it's really no dig on anyone. It's just we need to make sure that the benchmark that we set continues to become even higher. So though the shelf, I guess, in a sense, in comparison to like the world of detailing has become so huge, you know, our eyes are not, you know, we're open to things, but we just want to make sure that the shelf that we have is quality. Quality is sometimes is better than quantity, and that's how we that's how we see it. So we want to
look at it as you guys curate. You guys curate a selection of products that you can trust, you know, are going to work, that have been vetted. Like you curate that. You choose. Like, I don't think it's inclusive, especially if you've followed TRC from the beginning. Like, there was one brand on there, so like having another one and another one and another one join it, it's almost like you said, it's like joining the family, right? Like, here's our curated family.
And the hard thing is there's products that are duplicated, right? Like, we have so many soaps in our lineup. We have now various rinseless washes, but they all work great. They all kind of perform a little differently and have different feels. So though at the end of the day, they do the different job, realistically, and this is what I've started harping now that I've been more on camera, especially on TikTok, is the process. Figure out your process, determine the products that are best for you, right? If you want to go for a product that is in a consumer line that is maybe a little bit more cost efficient, go PNS. If cost isn't an issue and maybe you have high clientele, go Koshemi. Or and even high clientele, PNS is fine, but I'm just saying whatever works for that person in their process, curate the brand or the product line that fits your process for your detailing needs and go with it.
You don't need every product from every line. You don't at that point you're collecting, right? You're collecting at that point. But like I have a ton of products behind me, but that I love testing, I love using on my own vehicles. But like when it comes to a paying client, I have my curated selection of chemicals out there that I know get the job done, that I know are not going to be finicky and give me a hard time during that job. And I kind of separate it that way.
Yeah, I think it's one of those.
That's just it.
Yeah.
And I think too is that, I understand that I'm a little bit biased, that I've been following TRC podcasts since day one, both the main show and the Q&As, but I challenge anyone, whether a fan or not, to go back to if you watch every episode. I honestly do not know if you guys have ever talked down on a product. There's products that are brought up in the Q&As that you guys acknowledge and say, hey, I haven't tried it. We don't really have a saying, and then that's it. The puck stops there. So I think that's really good that you guys, but again, I understand you're representing your company and brand, and it doesn't make sense to smack talk another brand because you guys have your own stuff to worry about.
Well, the thing, it's not even that we're Switzerland in the fact that we are rooting for everybody, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we want anyone and everyone to succeed. We have no harm, no ill heart feeling towards other people. We want them to be successful, but what it just comes down to is what we're testing, what our goals are and stuff like that. And it really is that golden rule is treat others how you want to be treated. And if people people are going to have their opinions. If there's people out there that don't like the Rag Company, I would hope that they would treat us still with respect and be kind about it. And that's how we are going to treat others as well, and if a product isn't, up to what our liking is, and they reach out, we want brands to reach out, right? That's cool. But we'll be honest about it. And that's, I think the overall goal is be true and honest to everyone, not just your consumers, but your cohorts in this industry.
Yeah. We're a little over time, but I do want to get this last question in before we finish up.
Yeah, we want to respect your time as well. So I think this end here would be a nice segue to our outro.
So Gabe, what do you want to see next with TRC?
What do I want to see next with TRC? Well, this year has been a big year. We lost Levi. Levi went to auto wash, and
what a big loss.
I want to. It's a big loss, but I'm stoked because we can still call Levi and be like, "Hey, man, we have a question," and he's
lacquer thinner.
He's still family.
Lacquer thinner and a white ribbon rag.
Thinner on it.
Yeah, don't get him the glass. Peace out. We'll send him a bill.
Yeah. I want to see our personnel grow, meaning like we have Levi, Anthony, and Dane. Lucas, Josh Brodel, myself. I want to integrate and rotate more people on camera. I want to see more in-depth education, maybe something in that realm. Whatever that looks like. We have some ideas. We want to keep elevating TRCMA. And I want to start doing more collaborations, I think, too. Talking with Jimmy. Jimmy is the brains behind the main channel. And I think he's on the same page there. So we have a lot of big goals for 2025 and on. It's not just a 1-year goal. It's continuous, but we've got some big stuff coming down the pipeline. I know TRCMA is coming again March 31st through April 4th. So for those of you who are watching and you want to ask questions to our vendor partners directly, that's an opportunity for you to go. And I do know, this is what I do know, there's going to be a lot of products dropping at TRCMA that are coming to market or being revealed at TRCMA. And there's a lot of cool stuff that I think is going to blow people's minds. I genuinely do. So, that for instance is an opportunity right there.
Get those budgets ready.
To see. some elevation happening. But overall, it's cool. It's been a cool story. It's been a cool road. I have nothing more than to thank not just you two who are so gracious to have me, but thanking everybody, Jeff C, G Davis, all those guys for constantly being a part of all of these, events in the company's history. Yeah. So
you guys are like my weird online family, and I love it.
Yeah.
Hey, we're here for you, and just so you guys know, even in the Q&As and all of that jazz, or in the video comments, we read everything and we hear you. So we do definitely take and listen to everybody. So we just appreciate everybody so very much. So thank you guys.
Yeah, appreciate that, Gabe. Well, I really thank you for taking the time out of the day. Sporting the beautiful green hoodie, radcompany.com, pick one up. Go Joey 10, may or may not work, I have no idea. But anything else on the way out, Joey?
No, just thank you for the conversation, Gabe. It was nice to get to know Gabe more. In addition to seeing Gabe more on camera, so it's all tying together nicely, and I just appreciate you taking the time on a Friday night. I know you got a family to get home to. Just taking the time to chat with us. I appreciate it very much.
I appreciate you guys. And big thing tonight, I know it's not YouTube or detail related, but go Boise State.
Oh, you're going to the game or
Mountain West Championship. Mountain West Championship, baby.
Are you heading there after this?
I am not heading there. No, I'm gonna go spend some time with my family, but I am going to be watching the game nonstop, and my palms are already feeling a little sweaty.
His knees are weak. Mom spaghetti.
Oh, so yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I see what you did there, Doer.
Gabriel MC, drop a like, subscribe if that's what you're into, and appreciate everyone for tuning in.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you guys so much.
Take care, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Appreciate you guys. See you guys.